The movie begins in space, as we see the Predator spaceship leaving Earth. On board, Scar lies dead. His chest suddenly bursts open and a new type of xenomorphs named Predalien is born. The Predalien snakes around the ship and enters a laboratory where facehuggers are kept in containers. A Predator was operating on a xenomorph. The creature suddenly attacks him, alerting another Predator who goes to check and finds the terrifying creature. When trying to shoot it down with the plasma cannon, he causes a breach in the ship that starts falling back to Earth. During that time in Gunnison, Colorado, Buddy was hunting with his son Sam. The two soon see the spaceship falling down and crashing in the forest. They immediately go to check. Inside the spaceship, the containers in the lab broke. The Predator, seeing that, sends immediately a distress signal. He is then killed by the Predalien. Outside, Buddy has a bad feeling and takes his son away from the crash site, but he is attacked by a facehugger that he shoots down. The acid splashes over his arm that falls off and another facehugger jumps on his head. Sam checks on his dad, but he too is attacked. On the Predator homeworld, a veteran Predator named Wolf is alerted by what happened and immediately gets ready and leaves the planet to take care of the situation. We then meet Morales, the sheriff of Gunnison, as he welcomes his old friend Dallas, who is just released from prison. On the road, we learn that the two used to be partners in crime before Morales changed ways. In the forest, Deputy David was investigating the sewer junction where he finds a homeless man. He is about to take him in when the man's dog arrives with an amputated arm that freaks the deputy out, who calls for backup. Dallas's younger brother Ricky, who works as a delivery boy, delivers some pizza to the house of his crush Jesse. Her boyfriend Dale makes fun of Ricky, who returns the joke on him, making him mad. The boy then learns from Jesse that she is about to break up with Dale. When about to leave, Rick is beaten up by Dale and his friends, and they throw the keys of his car in the drains. During that time, Morales, who is looking for Buddy, and Sam find the man's vehicle. Meanwhile, the two wake up, and the boy sees his father squirming in pain as a chest burster comes out of him. And soon, it's the boy's turn. Kelly, who was deployed as a soldier overseas, returns home to her husband and daughter and has trouble reconnecting with her daughter, Molly, even though the girl likes the night vision goggle that her mother brought her. Ricky comes back home and meets with his brother, who asks him about his wounds. Ricky avoids him and grabs a bat. Dallas then stops him, and after he tells him what happened, he decides to accompany him. During that time, the facehuggers made it to the sewers and attacked two homeless men. A homeless woman finds their bodies and she is attacked by the Predalien xenomorph. The Predator spaceship reaches Earth and sends a boat down, and it lands in a lake. Then we see Wolf coming out of the water as he scans the surroundings. He then reaches the crashed spaceship. Inside, he finds his dead comrade and notices that facehuggers had escaped. He then grabs as many weapons as he could and destroys the ship. Dallas and Ricky go to the sewers looking for the keys, and Ricky suddenly notices a chest burster. Dallas finds alien malt, and the two hear a roaring nearby and they decide to leave. A group of people begin looking for Buddy and Sam. Wolf finds their bodies first and uses a blue substance to melt them and the facehuggers. Deputy Ray stumbles upon the scene and is found by the Predator, who drags him and kills him. Next day, Morales meets with Dallas at a diner and brings up last night's events, saying that they stopped searching at 2 a.m. Ray's wife, Carrie, who works there, says that her husband did not come back nor called. Morales immediately goes searching for him and finds his corpse skinned hanging from a tree. Ricky meets with Jesse and learns that she broke up with Dale. The girl invites him to go swimming at the school's pool. Wolf at that time reaches the sewers and finds more xenomorphs victims. He makes sure to destroy every corpse, and soon he comes in contact with the creatures. He blocks the tunnel animals and fights them, destroying many of them, but then the Predalien shows up and sends him flying with one hit. The xenomorphs then escape to the surface, and Wolf follows them. The creature goes around killing people. One of them is Carrie's boss. The woman too is attacked by the Predalien. Morales, who is overwhelmed with what's going on in the town, shares the findings with Dallas, who proposes to help him. Chasing the xenomorphs leads Wolf to a nuclear power station, where the creature makes more victims. At the school, Ricky and Jesse are having some hot time at the pool when her ex suddenly arrives with his gang. A fight breaks out and the guys fall in the pool. At that time, Wolf, who's fighting the xenomorphs, shoots them with his plasma gun and damages the station, plunging the town in darkness. Back at the school, the guys hear the monstrous roaring all around them, and soon a xenomorph jumps in the pool with them. They all hurry to get out, but one of them gets grabbed and killed. The others escape from the window, where another guy is butchered in front of Ricky. Molly, who is playing with her night goggles, sees a xenomorph outside and freaks out. Her parents arrive to calm her down, thinking it was only a nightmare, but the xenomorph suddenly attacks her father and kills him. Kelly quickly grabs her daughter and they escape the house. Meanwhile, the Predator reaches the school, where he kills the xenomorph and disposes of the bodies. Morales and Dallas were at the reactor when Ricky arrives and tells his brother about the monsters. The two men go to check and find the pool empty and some traces of blood at the bottom. Looking around reveals even more blood. Morales then decides to call for backup, but no one answers the radio. Meanwhile, the Predator, who's hurt, sits on a tree and heals himself. Darcy, Buddy's wife, checks on Carrie and finds her dead with a hole in her stomach. Morales and the others, who are on their way back, find the woman on the road devastated. Dallas tells Morales that they need to arm themselves and they all head to a store to grab some weapons. Morales then contacts the National Guard, who just arrived in town and are already attacked by the xenomorphs. A fight breaks out, but the creatures easily tears the men apart. Kelly and her daughter arrive at the store too, and at the time, the Predalien makes its way inside the newborn section of a hospital. It attacks the personnel and goes on to impregnate a woman. In the store, Dallas is caught by the Predator, who hangs him upside down. The man shoots the rope to free himself, and he is approached by a xenomorph. The invisible Predator cuts off its head, then shows itself to the others, who freak out. The shop clerks try to shoot the Predator and get their head blown up. Everyone escapes and Dale gets grabbed by a xenomorph. Wolf shoots the creature and its acidic blood melts the boy's face. More and more xenomorphs appear and surround Wolf, who starts shooting them. In the hospital, the doctor is alerted and checks on the patient. The room was turned into a nest and he sees the belly of the pregnant woman bursting up, revealing multiple xenomorph babies. The doctor is then killed by the Predalien. The group of survivors reach the National Guard's location, but they find only blood and chaos. They grab some machine guns and Morales uses the radio to call for help. He reaches Colonel Stevens, who lets him know that they lost all the units and points him to the extraction location in the middle of the city. The group uses an armored vehicle to push their way ahead. After a moment, Kelly, who's driving, stops and says that she thinks the colonel was lying, saying that they don't want to risk the infestation from spreading outside the city. Ricky tells them about the helicopter of the hospital, but Morales rejects the idea, saying that they must go to the extraction point. At that time, they meet another group of survivors heading to the extraction point. Dallas tries to convince Morales, but he fails. A man from the other group joins them, while Morales and Darcy joins the group. Dallas then hands the radio to Morales before going separate ways. Soon Dallas's group reaches the hospital and tells everyone to protect Kelly, since she is the only one who is capable of flying the helicopter. They all enter the hospital, full of dead corpses. The Predator too reaches the location. Soon the group is under attack by a xenomorph that kills the new guy. They begin shooting the creature and Jesse freaks out and escapes. Wolf, the Predator, is attacked by the Predalien, who sends him flying through the wall and orders his minions to attack him. Wolf starts fighting them and ripping them apart, but loses his plasma gun. He uses his shurikens that he throws at the xenomorphs, cutting off their heads. Jesse, who is running on the perpendicular corridor, gets hit too and pinned to the wall and dies in front of Ricky's horrified eyes. The boy sees the Predator and goes in into immense rage and starts shooting at him. Wolf is then attacked by a xenomorph that pushes him down the elevator. After emptying the machine gun, Ricky stops shooting. He then finds the Predator's plasma gun, but suddenly gets stabbed in the shoulder by the Predalien's tail. Dallas quickly shoots the creature that escapes. More creatures start arriving, so they grab the boy and leave. During that time, Morales reaches the extraction point, where a group of people were fighting the xenomorphs while waiting for help to come. After reaching the roof, the group is glad to see the helicopter there. They keep running while the xenomorphs keep popping up, surrounding them. Dallas fiddles with the Predator gun and manages to use it, opening a hole in a fence, and all escape through it. Morales at that time calls the colonel, asking for help. The man says it was coming, but he was lying, as he sends a jet fighter to blow up the entire city. Dallas screams at the others to head to the helicopter, while he stays behind fighting the creature with the plasma gun. The man is almost killed when the ground explodes and Wolf appears. Dallas escapes while Wolf uses his whip to tear apart a xenomorph. He smashes its head with his leg but is suddenly attacked by the Predalien. Wolf uses his whip that the Predalien blocks with his tail and disarms him. Dallas reaches the helicopter and gets inside as more creatures gather around. Kelly then immediately flies them away. During that time, Wolf wounded the Predator with his spear, but he was slammed hard and gets kicked around by the monstrous creature that matches his strength and skill. Wolf has enough and removes every piece of equipment, then takes off his mask. He launches a loud war cry. The Predalien responds the same, and the two clash with each other. Wolf is overpowered and trapped in a corner. Meanwhile, Dallas and the others see the fighter jet flying by, heading to the city. The Predalien uses its tongue to attack Wolf, but he avoids it and tears it off with his hand, then uses his claws to stab the beast in the head. The Predalien uses its tail to stab Wolf, and the two roar at each other. At that time, Morales watches the fighter jet as it deploys a bomb over the city. The nuclear explosion burns through everything, and the shockwave reaches the helicopter miles away. The helicopter crashes down, but gladly, no one was hurt. The survivors are suddenly surrounded by a group of soldiers, and Dallas is asked to give them the plasma gun. Later, we see Colonel Stevens, who takes the gun to Miss Yutani, who says that the world is not ready for this technology, and the man asks from her to specify if she meant not for this world, insinuating that Wayland Corp already had other worlds under its control. That was the end of Alien vs Predator Requiem from 2004. If you liked the movie, leave a like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.